Today, we are going to learn how to multiply multiples of 10 using a standard algorithm. This should be really easy for you because I have already taught you how to do this. Just make sure that when you are multiplying a multiple of 10, that you put the multiple of 10 on the bottom. You can still multiply it if you put it on the top. But for what we're doing today, it's going to be a lot easier if you put the multiple of 10 on the bottom. Let's look at our question for today. Mr. Jeffrey bought 20 rock identification kits for his science classes. Each kit has 12 igneous rocks, 9 sedimentary rocks, and 7 metamorphic rocks. We would like to find out how many rocks are in the kit. Well, is this a one-step problem or a two-step problem? If you said two-step, you are right. First, we have to add up all of the rocks, and then we need to multiply by 20. So, if we add up 12 plus 9 plus 7, we are going to get that there are 28 rocks in each kit. So now we need to multiply 28 times 20. I have already taught you two ways to do this. One way is to use a box. And in our box, we're going to separate 28 into 20 and 8. On the side, we're just going to write 20 because 20 is a multiple of 10. Then we're going to multiply 20 times 20 is 400. And 20 times 8 is 160. We would add up our partial products and we would get a total of 560 rocks. The other way, which is the way we're going to work on today, is by using a standard algorithm. Now in our algorithm, we're going to put the multiple of 20 on the bottom to make it easier for us. So we are going to multiply 28 times 20. First, we're going to just drop the 0. Then we're going to multiply our tens place times our ones place. So 2 times 8 is 16. Put your 6, regroup your 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. We will get 560 rocks. Let's try a few problems together to help us practice with multiplying a multiple of 10 by using an algorithm. If we have 20 times 52, let's multiply 52 times 20 using a standard algorithm. Now, if your multiple of 10 is on the bottom, which ours is, that's good. It's going to be easier. And I'm going to show you why. First, we're going to just drop our 0. Then we're going to multiply 2 times 2, which is 4. We don't have to regroup anything. And then 2 times 5, which is 10. We could still multiply this number if the multiple of 10 was on top, but it is a little bit more tricky. If the multiple of 10 is on top instead of the bottom, we're going to start with our ones place like we did yesterday. So we would multiply 2 times 0, which is 0. Then we would multiply our ones times our tens. So 2 times 2 is 4. Now we need to multiply our tens. But to multiply our tens, we're going to have to start with the 5, which is really worth 50. So we're going to drop a 0. Then we're going to multiply 5 times 0, which is 0. Then 5 times 2, which is 10. Then we would add our partial products. We would still get the same answer, but multiplying a multiple of 10 by placing the 0 or the tens place on the bottom is a lot easier because it gives us one less step. Let's try a few more. Let's multiply 37 times 40. Since our multiple of 10 is on the bottom, drop your 0. Then we're going to multiply 4 times 7, which is 28. Put down your 8 and regroup your 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 more is 14. Now let's multiply 55 times 20. Our multiple of 10 is on the bottom, so we're going to place our 0. Then 2 times 5 is 10. Regroup your 1. 2 times 5 is 10 again, plus 1 is 11. And let's do one more together. Let's do 36 times 40. Drop your 0. 4 times 6 is 24. Put your 4, regroup your 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 more is 14. I hope you're getting the hang of it. Now we're going to look back into our book. Make sure that you have all of these examples in your math notebook. Number 1. When you multiply by 20, why is there a 0 in the ones place of the product? Well, let's try it. If we have 43 times 20, we're going to have a 0 in our ones place because we need to drop the 0. Then we would multiply 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 4 is 8. Anytime we multiply a multiple of 10, it's always going to have a 0 in the ones place. Number 2. What simpler multiplication problem can help you find 38 times 70? We can break apart 38 into 30 plus 8, and then multiply that by 70. So if we're going to break apart 30 times 8, we know that 70 times 3 is 210, or 7 times 3 is 21, plus 7 times 8 is 56, and then add your 0. So we can add those two together. We would have 560 plus 210, and we would get 770. Number 3, 12 times 20. Well, they already dropped our 0, so now we need to do 2 times 2, which is 4, and then 2 times 1, which is 2. So you should get 240. Number 4, we've already dropped our 0, so then we do 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 2 is 6. Numbers 5 and 6, I'm going to go ahead and do down here so we can see. Remember, we want the multiple of 10 on the bottom to make it easier for us. So we have 27 times 60. Drop your 0. Then you're going to multiply 6 times 7, which is 42. Put your 2, regroup your 4. And then we're going to multiply 6 times 2, which is 12, plus 4 is 16. And last, we're going to do number 6. We have 66 plus 40. Remember to put your multiple of 10 on the bottom to make it easier for you. 66 times 40. Drop your 0. Then we're going to do 4 times 6, which is 24. Put your 4, regroup your 2. And then we have 4 times 6 again, which is 24, plus 2 more is 26. So 2,640. When you're multiplying by a multiple of 10, you can put the multiple of 10 on top, but it does create an extra step. To make it easier for you, make sure you put the multiple of 10 on the bottom. Go ahead and do numbers 7 through 20 on the front on page 215. Then on the back, you're going to do numbers 24 and 25. Show me when you are done, and I will give you your next assignment.